Hello and good evening. This is Claire from EFT Costa Blanca, and this evening I am speaking with Jo from Action Coach, who has and runs her own very successful coaching business. This evening we're going to be discussing the value of using EFT within business and get a different perspective from somebody else, whether they value it or whether they don't, or have their opinions. Hi Jo, how are you?
Hi Claire, yeah, really good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. Right, Jo, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your business.
So as you said, I'm a business coach. I'm an action coach. Been doing that for about 8 years now. So I work with small and medium businesses. I work with one big corporate business as well, with any aspects of running a business, really, successful business.
Right.
So
Okay.
absolutely love what I do.
And with your coaching, are there any aspects other than the actual coaching side that you actually bring in at all?
Other than the business coaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely mindset coaching. For me, that's the absolute key to success in business, because I've learned the hard way that I can teach business owners every sort of trick and technique in the book, but if they don't change their mindset or their belief system, then quite often it's just a complete waste of time and they end up back where they started. So yeah, I do a lot of mindset coaching as well.
All right, okay. So what percentage of these clients would you actually say need to work on their mindset?
God, all of them. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, all of them. I've yet to meet one business owner or client or a member of their team that didn't have at least one or two areas that they need to work on, because we've all got our baggage, haven't we? And quite often is, whether that's around their confidence or their money blocks or success blocks. It could be around their health or their relationships, but yeah, we've all got these negative beliefs that need clearing. So every single one of them. So I go in on the guise of a business coach, but I just want to get in their heads really, and because that's what you need to sort out before we can go any further. Right.
So you'd actually say that was a really important aspect then.
Absolutely, yeah. I learned that the hard way. I think when I first started coaching about 8 years ago, I would coach like a typically busy business owner, for example, who was notoriously bad at time management. And I learned that I could teach them every tool, technique in the book, but unless they changed their mindset around that, nothing would ever change. So if they're using the language like I've not got enough hours in the day, I can't never get on top of stuff, then I could give them the tools, like I said, short term, so their behaviour would change on the short term, but within a couple of weeks they would just go back to the way that they always were. So until you change your identity and your belief system, then all this stuff that we do, these programs and courses, are just a waste of time. It needs something that's going to get to the root of the problem as to why they think like that and get them to change it.
So what do you do with them to help get to that root? What techniques do you use with them?
So I do a lot of sort of getting in control of your thoughts kind of stuff, and affirmations and visualization. But I think that works to a certain extent. And if it's like a surface belief, and if it's just somebody just needs a little bit of confidence, for example, then that will help. But I think, EFT is, for me, as you know, I'm passionate about it, because I think it's the absolute key to get into the root of the cause really, really quickly, far quicker than anything else I've ever come across. So I think, visualization, affirmations, I'm really into that, and getting control of your mindset and listening to what you're saying to yourself. But that's almost a little bit like a sticking plaster over a gaping wound. If you don't deal with the root of the problem, then all of that stuff again is going to work on the short term, but it's not going to change. You're going to end up back where you started. So I think that's where a lot of this, traditional self-help stuff falls down, is because it gives you all these tools that you can use, and you're really motivated, and you're working on willpower. But as soon as that fades, you're back to that same belief system that says you're not good enough, and all these sort of negative belief systems that we've got. So you've got to clear those first. Absolutely.
Right. So with the clients that you've used these kind of techniques with, what have you actually seen happen to their businesses afterwards?
Varies really. Mainly confidence building is really good for. I had one actually this week, which somebody was having a real bad issue speaking at the board meetings, because it was a woman. She was in a male-dominated industry, so it was all the other directors in there were men, and she just couldn't find her voice, and she was getting to a sheer panic going in, and sweaty palms, palpitations and stuff, and just like a few rounds of EFT, and I watched her in the board meeting the other day, and she was absolutely brilliant. So it was just like that quick. Although I will say it's not always that quick, as you know. I think sometimes there are quick fixes, but as a rule, obviously you would need a program or course. I think, you know, just getting rid of money blocks and success blocks. I think a lot of people out there, especially with money, think that, you know, we've got these belief systems that money is the root of all evil, and, you know, rich people are bastards, excuse my language, and the kind of stuff that some people grow up with if they're not from a wealthy background. And we don't realise the impact that will have on us, because, you know, we don't want to be seen to be like that. So we will deliberately, well, not deliberately, actually, our subconscious mind will sabotage us to make sure that we don't get that success and that wealth, because we don't want to be seen as a horrible person. And it's mad, really. We've got all this stuff running, haven't we? And we just like, we don't know that, you know, the belief system that we get when we grow up is right, you know, so the belief system of a 6-year-old is running a 40-year-old woman, which is just mad, isn't it, really? So, but yeah, so helping people to overcome that, I think, is great. And as you know, it's like peeling the layer of an onion, isn't it? Really, you just, you know, the more you get into this, the more you realise that we've got most of our belief systems are pretty negative and not serving us in any way. So yeah, just you know, as you know, I refer so many of my clients to EFT. Quite often I'm sat there like with somebody and they're talking to me and I'm listening to what they say. I'm thinking, God, you just need to see an EFT practitioner, because I will go so far with the mindset with them, but I am a business coach, so that's not really my remit with them. It's not really the dynamic I've got. So I'm more than happy just to refer them on.
Right.
It's brilliant. I think I'm quite fanatical about it, actually. I think everybody should do it. I think it's a brilliant process.
I think it's one of those, I mean, I personally feel, as you know, when I did my training, when I experienced it the first time, it then gave me, I have to go and learn this. I have to, you know, I need to go on. It does give you that instant kind of wow factor.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think, do you know what? I think that's the same for most people that do EFT. I think you just have such a shift and you think, God, I just want to share this with everybody. And as you know, the same thing happened to me, you know, back in 2013. It wasn't around business for me, it was around my health and my weight, but it was still just a profound shift that just was life-changing. So yeah, I think, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right, well, if you could go back 8 years and you knew about EFT 8 years ago and the profound differences and effects it can have, how would you actually view a kickstart your business course using EFT?
I think it'd be brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I think, God, it would save a lot of time and effort, you know, going around the houses with stuff and just getting those negative beliefs cleared straight off. Yeah, I think it would be a really good thing, because most people don't know. That's I think the important thing here. Most people don't know they've got those beliefs. They just keep striving and keep trying and keep failing. They don't realise that they're actually blocking themselves. Quite often they blame it on external factors, and all they need to do is work on themselves a little bit, and the success will come a lot easier. So I think that would be really great, actually. I think it would open people's minds to the fact that they need to work on themselves if they want to be successful. I do believe if you want to be, if you want to earn more, you've got to become worth more, and that means, you know, working on your stuff and becoming the person that deserves to be successful and wealthy. So yeah, I think it'd be great.
Right. Okay. On a personal level, yeah. I mean, obviously you do this for your living. You've said a little bit that you brought EFT into your life for health reasons. Is it something that you practice and you know, with other techniques like law of attraction, meditation? Is it something you practice on a regular basis? And if so, how much importance do you actually put on that?
Yeah, I do. I am really quite disciplined. Most of the time, I'm not perfect, but you know, I've studied success for 25 years now, and I've learned that, you know, that we have to do this stuff on a daily basis. So I do my gratitude list and my visualization and my affirmations. If I'm stressed, I do an EFT. And I read something the other day which I thought was really good, and it said this kind of stuff is a bit like cleaning your teeth. You don't just clean your teeth really, really hard for 2 weeks and expect to have clean teeth for the rest of your life, do you? You know, you have to do that every day, you know, to get the impact that you want. And I thought that was great. And that's the same with this, because, like, you know, as a coach, sometimes I'll do one-off gifted sessions, and when people leave and they're, you know, they're fired up and they're raring to go and they're going to go off and make all these changes, and then I'll see them a couple of months later, and they're, you know, they're pretty much back where they started, and I'll say, well, are you doing this and are you doing that? They're like, no. So you've got to do this stuff on a regular basis, otherwise, you know, life gets on top of us again. And you know, if I don't do this stuff on a religious basis, I can be as negative as the next one within a few weeks, because just like life just takes over. So I think it's really important. And if I feel myself getting a bit anxious or a bit stressed, which today's been quite a stressful day for me, which I don't normally do stress, as you know. So I've been doing a meditation out in the garden and a bit of tapping. So, but yeah, I think you have to incorporate it into your daily life. And I think, especially, well, all of it really, but the law of attraction stuff, you can't just do like a visualization for 5 minutes in the morning and expect to attract success. And if you're going to then be negative for the rest of the day, you've got to live it and breathe it, haven't you? And become that person that can have that. So yeah, I really do believe that. And I get really passionate about trying to encourage people to do this stuff on a regular basis. So I think, you know, and EFT is one of those techniques. I think that the thing I love about it is the fact that you can learn how to do it yourself. So I think you need to have a guided sort of some sessions with a practitioner at first, definitely, because they'll help you go places where you won't go on your own. But once you learn how to do it, so once you've done a few months of it, you can just do it on your own. And I love that about it, because most other therapies, you're almost giving your power away, aren't you? Because it's up to the therapist to heal you. But with EFT, once you've gone through that process, you can use it forever for everything, can't you? So
yeah, absolutely. That is the one thing that I love about it, because you actually take your power back.
Yeah.
Rather than giving it away again. You take back the control of yourself.
You do, don't you? Yeah. And like the feedback I get from the clients that I've sent to you and to other EFT practitioners here in Bristol, it's just been brilliant. I get like texts saying fantastic, life-changing, just brilliant, and people love it, because like I said, that it just, you can see the results really quickly. Well, you can feel them, I think, more so than see them, can't you? You feel that. For me, it was just like an internal shift. And I think, like I said, mine was around weight loss, and I've been overweight all of my life, as you know. And I think one of the reasons I've not put the weight back on is because of the work that I've done with the EFT, because I'm pretty sure I've cleared now most of the crap that was there that was keeping me overweight in the first place. So I think it's not just for business, it's great for everything, isn't it?
No, yeah, that's it. I mean, I think that's the wonderful thing. And the other thing that I like is you can use it for business, you can use it with your family, you can use it on issues if you have really big known issues. You can use it on everything. If you get ratty in the car, a bit of road rage, you can use it to bring it down.
Yeah, great, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was in the car the other day because I just had this really bad pain in my shoulders. I was driving up the motorway, so I didn't do the whole tapping sequence because that one would have been a bit dangerous. But I was just doing the one under my eyes as I was driving up, and it disappeared in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It's surprising. It is very surprising how you can, aches and pains and things, you can just shift. You can shift. Right. Well, thank you very much. One last thing. Little bit of advice. You have 8 years with Action Coach. You have 25 plus years of actual business experience. What advice would you actually give somebody who's thinking of starting up a business or have just started up a business?
That's a big question. Where do you start with that one? I think work on yourself, like I said just now. If you can, get yourself a coach or an EFT practitioner. If not, which would be the first thing, but just surround yourself by people that have done it and have been there. And if you can't do that on here, then do it virtually. So like when I first started in business, I was always listening to people like Tony Robbins. Who else was I listening to? Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn. Those kind of people that were just really motivational and inspiring. So they were like my mentors, because at the time I didn't have a coach. Since then I've learned about coaching, and I've got a coach, and as you know, you do EFT with me, so I do that as well. But I think you need to work on yourself. I think that's probably one of the most important things. There's a great book called E-Myth I would recommend that everybody reads. Anybody that's ever going to think about starting a business, it's the go-to book to how to run a successful one. And I think that probably the last thing and the biggest thing is just don't give up, because the world is full of people that have started their own business, and we all got doubts and we all get fears and we all think we can't do it. But the difference between people succeed and the people that don't is that the people that succeed just keep trying, and they realize, okay, so I don't know how to do that. I'm not really like that. But then they write on their to-do list, I need to go out and find out how to do that, and I need to learn how to be that. So that's the only difference. We all get the same, sort of fears and the same negative stuff saying this is never going to work, that kind of stuff. So just never give up, just keep going with it, because that's what makes somebody successful, I believe. It's just like that tenacity just to keep going and keep getting yourself back up and picking yourself back up again.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think that's a really, really good, important point, that we are all actually the same. We all have the same abilities and powers within us. It's how we actually push ourselves to use that and acknowledge it.
That's it, yeah. And it's easier not to sometimes, isn't it? It's easier not to do that, yeah. And it's scary to put yourself out there. And even doing something like this, you know, that's, you know, a lot of people would be really worried and scared about doing something like this. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.